Hey, welcome back to Bandwagon fans. This is Jeff, and tonight I'll be reviewing The Assistant. Now, I know this movie came out quite some time ago, so I actually saw The Assistant right before theaters started closing in Arizona for COVID-19. This was like back in March. I actually think this was the last film I saw in the theater. Now, this was a hard script to write, but as a bit of personal housekeeping for myself, I really wanted to make sure I looped back around and got this review out. This is one movie that deserves to be discussed. It's also a hard movie to discuss. Now, if you also listen to the What podcast I do, you may have heard me say that there are two purposes for any piece of art: to entertain or to educate. Art either distracts us from the troubles of our daily lives, or it helps provide insight into those struggles. And the best art does both. So The Assistant is a 2019 drama which was released in theaters in January 2020, about toxic work environments and the sexual abuse that is prevalent in these environments. It stars Julia Garner as Jane, a new executive assistant to an unnamed powerful executive whom most people associate as a representation of Harvey Weinstein. It is written and directed by Kitty Green, and the decisions she makes as writer and director are brilliant. Now, part of what makes The Assistant hard to watch is that it focuses on mundane daily tasks. It's almost literally like watching clothes dry. But the decision by Green and Garner's understated acting performance are the key to this film's importance. As Green said in an interview with NPR, I started sort of scripting a narrative around these tasks that women were being sort of asked to do, and particularly with a focus on gendered labor. And so this idea that the women are often getting the coffee and getting the lunches, and the boys kind of get to sit in on meetings and get kind of quickly promoted. I really wanted people to be able to emotionally identify with how much doing those tasks can kind of mess with your self-confidence and your self-worth. So we see Jane get increasingly isolated by her peers through daily interactions, expecting her to take out the trash, get everyone's lunches, make the coffee, do the dishes. Now, sometimes those tasks include lying to the boss's wife to hide the fact that he's having sex in his office. When Jane begins to express concerns that the boss is committing harassment, she is told not to worry because she's not his type. She's flatly ignored, or she's patronized in a dismissive manner. One of the most important lessons I've learned in 23 years in the Army is that it's not what you say, it's what you tolerate. Her coworkers say that she can come to them with problems, but it's clear that what they're really doing is covering up for the boss by snipping any complaints at the bud. The Assistant does not deal with the sensational. There's no moment where you can witness the shocking and easily condemnable behavior of a sexual predator. That would be too easy and would let us, the audience, off the hook. Instead, we are forced to watch every painstaking moment in Jane's day and ask ourselves, what would we do in that situation? What have we done in those situations? When I teach sexual harassment and assault prevention in the Army, I remind my soldiers that bad people do bad things. That will never change. The real problem is what the rest of us do about it. Do we look the other way? Do we stonewall people that come forward with concerns? Everyone has asked this question at some point in their lives. Is the behavior I'm seeing bad enough to warrant the headache I'm going to bring on myself if I try to intervene? The Assistant uses a broken windows type argument to force us to reconsider our arithmetic on that question. If we tolerate the daily, mundane indignities it creates, a toxic work environment that inevitably leads to sexual harassment and abuse. Overall, 8 out of 10 for The Assistant. The Assistant is a near-perfect educational film, but because of the manner in which it told its story and the subject matter of that story, The Assistant has zero entertainment value. This is not a movie to go see with your buddies before going to a bar. If you scratch that, this is exactly the movie to go see before going to a bar with your buddies, just not right before you go. This is a film everyone should watch and take the time to discuss, and I'll be incorporating parts of it into my future sexual harassment training program. I hope you enjoyed my discussion about it, and leave your comments below of what you thought about The Assistant. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons below. You can follow me on Twitter at BBWFans, and now you can get quick snapshot reviews from me on TikTok at Bandwagon_fans. Thanks for watching, and get on the bandwagon.